Hmm. Very, very, very good morning, students. We are live and sir is half cut in air. What is happening? Is it a magic show? What? Who is doing this? Zoom? Why are you cutting me in half? Very good morning, students. It's good to open with smiles and all, but I don't think anybody is here. Okay, I haven't admitted anyone. Okay. Very, very good morning, students. Very good morning. And y'all won't believe, but I made a joke and I said good morning just to know that everybody was in waiting room. So that happened. And let me see some smiling faces and let me see some smiling reactions. And let me see if you have any questions from last session. Students doing the sessions on their own sweet time, you'll text me if you have any questions before you take the class. And then you will go ahead with the class. And yeah, this was the joke, like, what is this? Sir is opening with half cut. Like, who's cutting me in half? This was the joke. Like, can you all see who's doing this? So I was saying, Zoom, why you're cutting me? And then I realized, okay, you're just in the waiting room. And thanks for waiting. I was just doing a mock with Varaprasad, and he has shown me excellent growth from his mock last night, which was his first mock, to today, which is his second mock. So yeah, that was happening. His exam is one of the first exams. Students going for Delhi RT, you will be message me today that sir, mera RT hai. What is your plan of action that is there in our schedule? I think some of you all are to do part two mock with me. And students, those who have not done mock, you'll be talking to me about the same. That being said, let's get started with questions. Do you have any questions with respect to what we have studied about the main planes so far? Okay. No questions. That is excellent. Ganesh, what's your
So,
update? Are you missing a
sorry.
lecture in between?
Yes, L5 and L6 are still pending.
Okay. So in your mind, you might be with that thing that why is sir making me attend the class? I've missed it. I'll have gaps. Forget all that. If you have any doubts, make a note, discuss with me. If they have to be cleared here, I'll clear here. I'll say, okay, don't wait for it. Attend the session and you'll get there. Okay.
Roger.
Feel free to ask, raise your questions, text on Zoom chat, and then log the same questions in your parking lot also. Simple. Nothing else. I want you to, I'll make sure that y'all know, sir, yaar, come on, he'll not say something that will have a lot of missing gaps. Maybe one or two, but not everything. That's why we go a little slow because we also revise in the same session what we have learned. It is not slow, it's just good learning. Students understand there is a big concern that what I'm teaching and what you're learning, there is a gap. Not with everyone, not with bad or good students. It can happen with anyone. You have to be ultimately focused and not assume anything. Okay, you need to have that trust. Yeah, assumptions might be very lethal with respect to what I'm saying and what you're understanding. Lethal in the sense you will be like, you know everything. But when you give answers to questions, you will be wrong. And you will not know where you're wrong. And you will not even ask me questions. So that is lethal because that doubt or that incorrect thing will never be rectified. Okay. Like, for example, one of the students I was talking to, we are at a level of mock and we are at a level of exam. But then the student today and after a big, verbal bashing realizes that, okay, there is something called a circle on the chart with two letters. What is it? And now understand, we have done 22 core lectures and we have done 10, 20 live sessions attended here and there. And still, if we are not aware of that, it means we have not focused in our initial lectures, right? So we need to be careful. If sir is telling you the importance of flight plan, you have to have the idea about the importance of the flight plan. You cannot skip that. You cannot skip anything given to you by your trainer. Otherwise, you'll do something differently. And as trainer is teaching you something to clear the exams. And if you do something differently, you'll not clear the exams. That's it. Nothing else. So we learn from each other and we grow. We all have some areas of improvement. We be ensured that we don't be complacent. We ask, we verify. Is it accurate? Is it accurate? Am I doing what sir is asking me to do? Another instruction. I'm asking one of our students that, okay, this is how I want you to make your list of topics. And I'm repeating it thrice. But when the student is sending me the list, it's completely different. So I understand what I'm saying and what the student is understanding is different. This is not for everyone. This is for select few people. Other students are not finding it that difficult to understand. They're doing it, they are in sync, and they're getting the results. So why is this happening? Why is this happening? Is it English? Is it our understanding of English? If that's the case, I can give you translation of everything in Hindi. You just have to say, so for these sessions, please give me everything in English and Hindi. Definitely, I'll be more than happy to do it in Hindi also because I know it is going to have a lot of impact for a lot of people. But don't say yes that you have understood and then do something differently and be confident and not be aware about it that you have done something differently. Please be careful about it. Otherwise, you'll not ask questions and will not know. And if we not know, then who's going to help you? And you'll be stuck in that cycle. Okay? That is something that you need to be careful going ahead. Okay? Do I have your assurance that you'll be doing it? This is yes. This is no. This is I don't care. Yeah, Nukul, go ahead.
So what we call that window which is straight ahead of the pilot?
Flight deck window.
No, so flight deck window is total the including direct vision windows and uh, whatever in flight deck windows, they are all are include.
Okay. Can anybody help Nukul understand this or help us with the answer?
Sir, I think it would be eye reference position.
Mm, okay. Not a window, but somewhere logical answer. Okay, fine. Not enough though, but good. Come on, everyone.
I think, sir, it could be windshield.
Hmm. Everything which is a shield to protect from the out and in can be a windshield. Okay, makes sense. Muskan, Ayan, Prerit, Harsh, Jason, Aditya, Kanishk, Yamuna. Yes, yes.
Yes, sir. So eye reference position is the windscreen which the pilot is facing directly in his sight, and direct vision is the ones which are to their corners in case of a bird strike or any damage to these eye reference windows. They can still use the direct vision windows to still assess what's in front of them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not satisfied, but I like the answer. Who else? Talk to me, students. Good point. Think, think, think. Check your notes. Anyone not checking your notes? Should check your notes and then give answer. Chalo, chalo, fadafat. Okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Come on. कोई भी बोल सकता है. The channel is open.
Sir, in notes, it's referred as a windscreen.
Mm-hmm.
So we can say flight deck windows are a combination of eye reference position and direct vision windows. So
Mm-hmm.
both of them make up the flight deck
Mm-hmm.
windows.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Inputs. Hmm. Every time when we are starting a lecture, sometimes we are in a rush. So let's just settle down, center ourselves during this exercise. I'm also doing the same. Okay, back-to-back sessions, right? So let's do it. It's a good question, but I don't think it's a question where we don't have clarity. Nukul, if you have something to add, feel free to add.
Sir, eye reference position is nothing but the things or instrument are placed with respect to eye reference of the pilot. It's not a
Mm-hmm.
window kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And direct
Mm-hmm.
vision windows are the slightly cider window of that pilot, we can say but the main window, the pilot can view the runway or the main vision. That window I didn't find in the notes the proper name for that window.
Hmm. Okay. We understand the doubt. Yamuna, Muskan, Om, students who have not taken an participation in this, what do you think?
Yes, I think it's referred as a windscreen, as I said. In notes, where the flight deck window is referred as a windscreen, let me share the screenshot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sir, in the notes, the window that pilot is directly facing is referred as windscreen only.
Mm-hmm. Siddharth, are you here?
Yes, sir.
What do you think? Can you go through the notes?
So my lectures are yet to be attended.
नोट्स मिले ना आपको? चेक तो करो.
हाँ सर.
लेक्चर्स तो मेरे को पता है ना सर क्यों पूछ रहे हैं. कम ऑन. नोट्स देख के तो ट्राई करो. नहीं मिल रहा है बताओ सर कहाँ है, कौन से नोट्स पे मिल नहीं रहा है. बोलूंगा किसी को भेजने के लिए. ओके डन. कोई और नहीं बता रहा है आंसर. Nobody else wants to try. Okay. I'm not good at acting right now. Let me not try also. Hmm. Jason, you want to modify your answer?
Sir, I have sent you a screenshot where it is mentioning that front pieces of cockpit are called windshields.
Checking. So, in my understanding, okay, with respect to the notes, I'll help you how to decode such things. Now, what happens is, generally, this is again something less of a technical issue and more of our learning strategies and understanding the reading of the textbooks and how to decipher the correct answer or how to come to a conclusion with a confusion like this, where we seek specific answers to specific questions. Now, understand it is not a problem to seek specific answers to specific questions. I'm not against it. I mean, that is the way answers are needed to be given. But how do we decipher the language and how do we pick up the specific terms? This can be an issue everywhere, and I see it happening with a lot of students. The flight deck windows. Okay, the main flight deck window is that windshield or windscreen. That is the main flight deck window. Okay, that is the main flight deck window, is the assumption you need to make based upon what you have. Instead of a question mark, it should be an exclamation mark. And then you put an asterisk and keep it in the parking lot for further discussions to see whether it's called something in specific or this is that specific. And then we research. We research after we have a probable answer which is accurate with respect to the text that we have, approved text that we have, which is the flight deck window is the main wind screen. And the direct vision windows are different and they are called DVs, direct vision windows. The flight deck window is the main window and this is direction window. The assumption that flight deck windows are a common could be confusing us from making a judgment with respect to the resources that we have. Firstly, we need to be confident with respect to our learning based upon the resources that we have. Those resources, if they put us a question mark, then we need to have some answer and then we need to research. We cannot research with a question mark. The only places we can research with a question mark is when we don't understand meaning of certain terms. Like there will be what? Like perspex, Muskan was thinking, and we said, what is perspex? But when we look up, we realize one word meaning perspex is what we know, what we discussed. The other is that it's a plastic material. That's it. So smaller aircrafts will not have toughened glass, they will have toughened plastic, something like that. So both are applicable. That is more applicable with respect to that. But we need to come up with an answer before we go ahead, because that might be the correct answer. Your mind must just be tricking you, is the key here. So the flight deck window is, we call it windows because there are two, one for commander, one for co-pilot. So we might be confused that, okay, and this is the first confusion that anybody could have through that text, including me. I've sensed this. I'm like, okay, what if? Then I know that how to conclude and come to conclusion 99% of the times it is correct. This is the confidence that I need you all to have when you're doing reading tasks. You have to count and depend upon your resources. You cannot question your resources just like that when you have not mastered them, is what I'm trying to say. This question should be okay. So far, they are flight deck windows. They are the main flight deck windows, and those are the direct vision windows. I need a little more research. Then I put it in the parking lot, and then we research. It is like that. Instead of they are not called flight deck windows, we cannot say that because it's there. It's right there. It's mentioned. So how can we deny something that is right there just because we think it is a common term? So that is something that you need to be aware of when you're reading that, okay, it could be the flight deck window, and this is the flight deck window. So far, is there any other name? Let's see. A very easy way to know would be to get nomenclature for an aircraft outside where we can see, or maybe cockpit nomenclature where we'll see, or maybe simulators where we'll see. We have ways to verify. We cannot believe simulators, but we can find some level of common element into what we see in simulators. Like so normal simulators, free simulators also will show you that. Now, another place where we can find is aircraft manuals. If we have any random manuals of an aircraft, we could check. We could check there also to see what are these windshields for pressurized aircraft called ideally. We know direct vision windows. That is the flight deck window. What else? Windscreen, windshield are common terms. Copilot windscreen, main windscreen, Copilot PIC windscreen, Copilot windscreen, direct vision windows could be also another way to attribute. What else could it be? Nothing else. But when we talk about flight deck windows, understand these are the main windows we are talking about, not the direct vision windows. At least this is what your text is saying, and at least this is what my understanding needs to be. Are we clear with this? So far, are we clear with this? Nakul, talk to me. First thing, I know it is a very
Yes,
difficult thing to understand, but you have to understand because you have sir telling you these things. So you have to try. Yeah, tell me.
yes, sir. I understood
Hmm.
the main flight deck window and the difference between the direct vision.
Hmm. 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 So far, so good. We need to have a probable answer because we have resources and resources match with that. So our resources are our religious textbooks. We spoke about it yesterday. It's a religion. We cannot change what we see. We cannot interpret the wrong things. We have to interpret the right things. And this is science. Science is specific. Science will mean one thing and one thing only. Science cannot mean two things at the same time unless things are probable, unless we are doing a research. The best thing about science is it's always accurate and it's always one thing, one accurate thing. There cannot be multiple things. There are parallel things for us to connect the dots to result into one thing. There could be multiple names given to one thing. That is there. Still, when it comes to science, each thing will have its own thing. We have to understand the base there. So far, I will say your main screen windows, your main PIC and Copilot windows are the flight deck windows. Everything else is just direct vision windows that we have seen. Nothing else. We put an asterisk, put it in the parking lot, do a little more research, find a reference other than what we have to prove us otherwise. So prove that it is not that would be a way to again research and see what we get. This is a self-study thing because you'll have to do a lot of reading more than anything else in tech gen. Are you following me, students? Everyone talk to me verbally. This is one of the greatest things you could have discussed before you go ahead with your further reading task. Because after today's session, you are going to like prepare for a test. The first test for TechGen would be on airframe, main planes, and stabilizers that we are going to do today.
Yes, sir. I think now I understood like how to interpret and not see it specifically as to that.
And with the call sign answers, because I cannot see your participant screen because everything is flooded on the screen.
Yes, sir. Victor Tango, Juliet, Sierra November.
Hmm. Everybody acknowledge, quick. We need quality, right? And we have time. So let's do that. Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Everyone, one by one, please. Talk
Yes,
to me.
sir. I'm now more clear. I was not confused though, but I am now more clear, I can say. Victor Tango Oscar Michael.
So far, sir, I have understood all the topics and I don't have any confusion. That's it. Victor Tango, Mike Sierra Lima.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sir, I got all your points, sir, um, and I got how to research on the topics.
Mm-hmm.
Victor Tango, Papa Romeo Tango.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. I wish I could see everyone, but it's fine. These are really good, they give you a feel of real class. Like Om is sitting with the guitar, like his image is also enough for us to feel. हर्ष also, हर्ष तो पानी लेके आया खुद के साथ. जेसन तो पूरा प्लेन ही ले आया और सिद्धार्थ को तो देखो भाई, ओ माय गॉड, सीधा क्या है, 777 है क्या वो, 330. गुड. So keep it parked, but so far you will say those are the flight deck windows, and then we have direct windows, nothing else. Nukul, does it not help you make more sense with the respect to the notes with what I said with respect to the notes? Honestly share. Shouldn't say honestly and debate. Say no sir, ऐसा मुझे नहीं लग रहा है, गलत लग रहा है, whatever it is.
No, sir. I thought that main deck. Sorry, what we call.
Flight deck.
Okay, flight deck windows are the including the main window and direct vision window, all um, all the windows in the cockpit. I thought the flight deck windows.
So let's read again, go through the para again and see what is more explanatory by the text. Is what we are thinking it is, or it is. See, just believe the text, just go through and let be guided by the text. See, I'm teaching you these skills so that, in future you're self-dependent students. I will give you the key. I can tell you the secret, but then I don't think I should be doing it right now because it won't make sense. But in person, if you all talk to me, if you want to know the secret, how to be self-dependent with respect to everything, all your knowledges, then definitely I can tell that to you. Give me double screen. Can anybody show me what do you see on your screens, please? Couple of students, maybe. So far, you have to stick with this as your answer. And if you are in doubts, you would do what? You would keep it in the parking lot for further research and update me on your research. Keep asking me the correct questions. That's sir, कुछ मिला क्या? Sir, मेरे को नहीं मिल रहा है. So what do we assume? We assume those are the main flight deck windows, nothing else. So far, we stick to that answer then. We don't keep a question mark. We don't stay on a question mark. That is the worst thing we could do to ourselves when we have resources like that. Somebody else also send me your screens quick. Chalo. Any more questions? We'll try this today. And if you don't see the whiteboard screen, then please tell me, okay? But I don't think in this you can see Sir properly. So I think that is much better because you are habituated to seeing Sir there. And this is how all videos were made initially when Zoom and all were not there. Like I have seen people do it and I used to wonder, how is he doing two things? But then it's just automated. So a Google search to Prerit has given him that a cockpit window is indeed how it's commonly referred to. Cockpit window, flight deck window. See, common terms. So direct vision window is different and flight deck window is different. Cockpit window, flight deck window will mean the same thing, which is our main windscreen. The front, PIC and co-pilot. See, we are only verifying our answers. It doesn't mean flight deck window becomes wrong because we are learning more from our textbook, lesser from online research. So we believe in our textbook first. We don't question our textbook unnecessarily. There are certain errors even in these textbooks, but there are very few compared to other Indian textbooks. So we avoid all those textbooks. Understand, our confusions should be not dominant. What we see in the text should be dominant. Any questions? Let's go ahead. Let's get going. Any questions? Let's go ahead. Let's get going. Any question? Let's go ahead. Let's get going. Mm-hmm. Okay. हम्म हम्म सब एक साथ हो रहा है पता आई डोंट माइंड Zoom screen. Okay. Thank you, Ayan. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. Mm. Students doing the session on your own sweet time. I hope you are being a part of this exercise and you understand what is being taught here is gold. And thanks to Nukul and his questions and his maturity levels, that he is able to differentiate these confusions. And trust me, it is a big confusion. I'll tell you, you might not like to hear that about your instructor, but I'll tell you. And just being modest here, saying this, not that you will judge me saying I'm weak or something. I'm not when it comes to these things. I'm actually not. I'm very, very much a professional, I would say, and I'm proud of the fact. And I can say that out on a mic also. That yeah, vote for me. I'm the best when it comes to this. So it's no arrogance there. Of course, I give 10% room of error to myself and correct myself. That's how I learn more and more and become more perfect. And then human error and slip of tongue does happen. Conceptual mistakes happen when there is slip of tongue or lack of lack of sleep or sleep deprivation and everything. So, yeah, I mean, when I was going through this text, I clearly remember the first time when I did an overview and overread, I thought I understood it. Simple. I will not tell you when I did it, but I remember it clearly. And I was like, okay, fine. I understood it. Good, good, good. So, whatever we do, overview, we grasp whatever we grasp. The next time when I was learning, I was unable to recall the correct terms. The terms that I recalled were not matching with the terms in the text. I'm like, okay, what did just happen? Because I trust my reading so much. Why am I confused? Why am I not getting it right? Then I realized what is given, and I realized, okay. Okay, so that's the flight deck window, that's the direct vision window. Okay. I had the clarity there because I had the confusion. I read it again and I had the clarity. Otherwise, my mind was just jumping to a conclusion similar to Nukul's. It means he's in sync. But I'm now showing him how to surpass that. It is okay, go through the text, let the text be guide you, spot your mistakes. Don't believe your mistakes and doubt it. Instead of find your confusion and let your text help you clear it. Come to a conclusion. If you still have doubt, make that your conclusion and then keep an asterisk and discuss it later. I didn't feel the need to do it because it was clear for me afterwards, similar to how I have taught you. So this is how we do it, and this is a point where confusion happens. Like Jason saying, Om saying, "अच्छा मेरे को doubt तो नहीं था, but अब ज़्यादा समझ में आया." Somewhere they also realize, oh, okay, we have to be a little careful in understanding. If you're still not doing it, you take your time. You will get there. I'm here. See, I'm not just teaching you concepts. Anybody can teach concepts. Okay, I can teach you concepts in the most easiest way. Fine. Most people, some people can do it. I'm teaching you study strategies and techniques which nobody else will teach you other than personal coaches who will take a lakh a month, and we cannot afford it. These things should be taught to you in school, in college, and we know what's happening these days. And thanks to pandemic, we are missing all the chances. So I'm giving you a lot here, and you take it and go ahead. Simple. Whatever you can salvage from whatever I say, there's a lot more than just conceptual knowledge. And it is only going to make you better students. Trust me on up you're learning, then only sir is good and sir is smart and sir is a good teacher, but you'll not benefit from that. Are we clear on this? चले आगे बढ़े. Can we acknowledge?
Affirm, sir. Victor Tango November Kilo Charlie.
इतना थके हारे क्यों बोल रहे हो भाई साहब? क्या हो गया? कुछ गलत बोला क्या? हाँ, हाँ, क्या हो रहा है सुबह सुबह? ओ, मैं 11 बजे का क्लास था सर, 11:05 आए, अब 11:40 हो गए, पढ़ाई कब होगी? ऐसा चल रहा है दिमाग में? आया, सॉरी नकुल, एनर्जी कहाँ है?
है सर, है एनर्जी।
हम्म क्या सोच रहे हो?
कुछ नहीं सर, अभी तो
दुखी क्यों लग रहे हो?
नहीं सर, दुखी नहीं हूँ मैं, बस थोड़ा सा स्लो बोल रहा हूँ, घर के अंदर हूँ इसलिए।
तबीयत ठीक नहीं है?
तबीयत सर अभी ठीक है, पहले नहीं थी। थोड़ा कफ वगैरह इशू है अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत।
तो तुम्हें ऐसा लग रहा है यार सर गलत पढ़ा रहे, मेरा क्या ही होगा?
नहीं सर, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है।
तो अभी भी ऐसे लग रहा है कोई कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है जहाँ पे तुम्हें ऐसे लग रहा है कि यार तुम्हें कुछ गलत कराया जा रहा है इसलिए तुम दुखी हो?
सर गलत कराया जा रहा है ये मुझे पता ही कैसे चलेगा, जब मुझे वो जो जो चीज हम पढ़ रहे हैं उसके बारे में पता ही नहीं है, तो वो कैसे गलत लग सकता है?
बट
तो
अपना
ऐसा
इंस्टिंक्ट
कुछ
बोल
तो मुझे।
इंस्टिंक्ट बोल सकता है ना कि मेरे को जो लग रहा है वो सही है और सर जो बोल रहे हैं उसके ऑपोजिट है, वहां पे बोल रहा हूँ मैं, बिकॉज इंस्टिंक्ट्स आर आर गाइडिंग लाइट एंड दैट्स हाउ वी सक्सीड इन लाइफ. यहाँ पे ये इंस्टिंक्ट को जनरली मैं बोलता हूँ पैराडॉक्स. 50% ऑफ आर assumptions आर टोटली रॉन्ग. 50% कुड बी राइट, सो वी डोंट नो विच आर राइट विच आर रॉन्ग व्हेन वी आर लर्निंग एविएशन. बट हमें तो वो इंस्टिंक्ट लग सकता है ना. हम्म
राइट सर। सर इसके पहले क्वेश्चन में जो मैंने पूछा था उसमें मुझे ऐसा डाउट था कि जो फ्लाइट डेक विंडोज है, नहीं विंडोज में समझा, जो भी कॉकपिट के अंदर जो भी जितने भी विंडोज है उनको हम फ्लाइट डेक विंडोज कहते होंगे, और उनमें से एक डायरेक्ट विजन विंडो है। तो जो मेन विंडो था वो उसका मुझे कहीं भी डिस्क्रिप्टिव पार्ट वगैरह कुछ मिला नहीं, इसलिए मुझे कंफ्यूजन था।
वो हमारा अजम्पशन ऐसा था, हमें लगा ये कॉमन टर्म है, बट व्हाई डू वी कॉल इट विंडोज? बिकॉज वहाँ दो हैं, एक नहीं है. एक पीआईसी, एक को पायलट. दैट्स व्हाई विंडोज.
राइट।
Not because the title is Windows, is what I would say is the meaning of text so far. अभी भी मैं बोल रहा हूँ so far because I'm always room for exploration. Because 5-6 जगह से मुझे अगर वैलिडेशन नहीं आ रहा है तो मैं डाउट को क्लियर करूंगा ही नहीं, बट डाउट so far so cleared subject to a further research. वो कॉन्फिडेंस हमें जरूर चाहिए बिकॉज एग्जाम लेवल पे आप ये थिंकिंग के साथ ही करेक्ट आंसर मार्क करोगे और कुछ नहीं आने वाला है बाहर से. एंड मॉडरेटर्स भी आपको वहां से ही देने वाले हैं. सो एज पर व्हाट वी हैव एंड एज पर व्हाट वी आर गोइंग टू गेट, still we are safe with respect to exams and correct in this dimension. In a broader dimension, you'll realize we are correct. But we just need validation because we have questions or dominant questions. So we go ahead and discover and research and eventually we get to know. Sometimes we get to know जिस चीज पे हम इतने कॉन्फिडेंस थे वो एक्चुअली गलत थी. That's the time to show some humility and understand, okay, okay, okay. Has this happened to other places also? Should I go back and verify it? Because ultimately my concern is safety. It's not guilt. It's not ego. It's not I'm the best or I'm the worst. It's all about, are we doing the right thing? Are we aware about the right thing? Have we done something wrong? How quickly can we fix it? How can we come back to the right thing? This is teamwork. So aviation, no blame games. Exactly why I told Jason, don't take names, don't start any accident with the cause. The cause comes first, but the understanding of cause, if it would have come first, the accident would never have happened in the first place. This is not sabotage. So it is traced back to real life. So we all make mistakes. To human is to err. That's why Murphy in Mr. Murphy in Human Factors said that if anything can go wrong, it will. And this is what my philosophy in training is more than anything else, because human factors is the major cause for air crash accidents. I want to save y'all from accidents. I want to save all aviation from accidents. I want to save lives. That is my ultimate goal. Right now, it is through training and putting in right culture into the future pilots. What do you think? I'm not working on other things. Controlled flight in terrain, CFIT. 60% of CFIT are due human error. 60% of all accidents are due human error. CFIT, we don't deserve to have CFIT. Due human error. There's no coming back from CFIT. So my ultimate goal is safety for you and for your passengers, for your family. Why do you think I take it so seriously? So that is me, and this is how we should study, because you all are a part of it, and safety is our primary concern. Just when I was traveling back, as someone who doesn't care about all this awareness, will be like, delay ho gaya. Security check is taking so much time. They're making us remove all gadgets and all clothes and this and that and so much line, so much line. We are getting late, we are getting late. I always tell them, I always talk to the security, say, whatever it takes for safety. Simple. It is required. Whatever it takes. Ask as many questions as you want. Check everything. Don't feel sorry. When I'm carrying our teaching aids and I'm traveling states or cities, they make me overall everything. They're like, आप इतना क्यों carry कर रहे हो? ये क्या पूरा office लेके चल रहा है? I'm like, yeah, it's a moving school sometimes. What do I do? They're like, आप क्या करते हो? I'm like, I teach aviation. Oh, and then a rapport builds while they're checking my elements. They're not doubting me, but they have to check it. There was this puzzle that I had, which was of metal. I carried sometimes to make my brain work. They're like, what is this? I'm like, this is a puzzle. Sorry, I could teach you. You keep it. They're like, no, I don't want it. So many things. I had this army knife, and they accidentally, I didn't know it was there in my bag. They're like, what is this army knife? I'm like, sorry, I didn't realize. They took it. I'm like, it's fine, it's yours. I understand whatever it takes for safety. It is okay. Take 4 hours, take 5 hours, take 10 hours, take 20 hours. It's still not as valuable as somebody's life. So yeah, something to know, something to guide your learning going ahead. Okay, बहुत बहुत जरूरी है ये चीज समझना, and बहुत जरूरी है how to understand and master your text and how to take care of these doubts that you have in these texts. Okay, so what we are going to do now is I'm going to end the session here, and you will have to rejoin the link again at 12 o'clock, and we'll restart directly from our conceptual knowledge for main planes. This lecture will be called as a simple pre-session something, and you can skip it. Anybody can skip it. And lecture 7 actually would start from 12 o'clock is what we'll go ahead with. Otherwise, Prakhar and all will be thinking that ek ghanta mera waste ho gaya and all, and doesn't make sense. So just come back at 12, join the session, don't be late.